is a midnight drive in Death Stranding 2 on the beach. Tonight, we have a few missions we're trying to complete. The first is a personal objective of trying to get to the end point before the sun rises. The second is to discuss some of the philosophy of Death Stranding and Death Stranding 2 and the themes of rebuilding connections and whether or not we should connect. And the third is to complete this mission without any mishaps and in a timely manner. You can see already encountering some BTs and problems. I was hoping to avoid any conflict in this run and get there quite safely. So let's do a quick scan and have a look at the terrain. I thought we could go through here quite easily, but I guess there are BTs. So instead of going through the valley, I think maybe we can go up the mountain. As you can see, there are roads here where there's pretty much going to be just an enjoyable ride. I want this to be quite a chill, relaxing playthrough, designed for sleep. Let me have a look on my other screen. Okay. And yeah. So while I'm doing this, I want to try and discuss some of the philosophy of Death Stranding. Hideo Kojima's Death Stranding is more than just a video game. It's steeped in philosophy and meaning. Yeah, if I go up through here, I think there's a path where I can go up through this mountain. And the game confronts the players with many existential questions. So what does it mean to connect in a fractured world? What value is there in rebuilding? And you play that porter who does the connecting. As you know, the language of this is through the chiral network. Just trying to avoid BTs here. I think it's going to be fine. Just to follow along here now. Through this water. So the most overt theme in Death Stranding is the concept of strands. In Kojima's own words, the game was meant to be a new genre. A strand game defined by systems of connection rather than destruction. And in fact, you can't die, and killing someone else causes a void out. So everything is non-lethal. Okay, we're approaching the mountain now. This all looks good. Go along this way. The strand system is one of my favorite aspects of this game, by the way. It's so sort of comforting and reassuring when you have this kind of light horror genre, but you know you're connected to others who are helping out. So Death Stranding is direct philosophical rebuke to the traditional structure of video games, and Kojima is very well versed in that. Obviously his previous games relied a lot on combat looks like this hill is very steep. Okay, we're gonna have a problem going up here. And it looks like I'm a little bit stuck. Okay, let's reassess the route. Which way can we go? If there's a less steep path, maybe we can go that way. Okay. What is going on? Let's go through here. Now I'm a bit worried because that's my main route, my main plan. Taken out. And so I was saying that philosophically, Death Stranding echoes the existentialistic and traditions, especially the work of I heard Martin Buber, is that how you pronounce it? In Buber's view, genuine human existence. Let's just check this road again. Is this gonna be too steep? I'm not sure. And then the battery's getting low on the transporter, so I'm not sure if this is gonna be the best route to take. In Buber's view, genuine human existence is rooted in deep reciprocal relationships. And you know that that's one of the things, like actually when you're born, a baby needs the physical contact to survive, which is crazy because you need that input, you need that input and feedback, just like in the game, which some people miss. Okay, I'm genuinely stuck here. This is not moving, not going anywhere. These vehicles can actually jump, which is great because it avoids a lot of like bugs. You know, bugs where you'd normally get stuck, and then if you are stuck, you can kind of jump out of the position. So that's really good. But I don't think I'm gonna make it up here, and especially not without recharging the battery of this vehicle now. I've kind of ruined this route. We still want to get to the destination before the sun comes up. So I think I'm reassessing now. We're gonna go around. We're gonna go around this mountain. It's to an area I haven't been to before. It looks like part of it is still within the chiral network. So, we'll just have to charge this vehicle and then keep going. Keep on keeping on. Where was I? It's hard to talk and focus on the screen. So when Sam helps strangers, delivering supplies, building bridges, laying down the signs, he participates in this moment of a mutual recognition of shared vulnerability. And not so much in the second game, actually. It feels he's a little bit reluctant to do it. And then there's no spoilers here, but yeah, like situations convince him to do it. So it will probably be better off not connecting, to be honest. There's also a lot of themes of isolation and the weight of just being. Sam starts the game very burdened. In the first game, literally and metaphorically. And he's carrying heavy loads, carrying heavy cargo, and you avoid touch due to something I can't remember, but I don't think he can touch other people in the first one. I don't think they've explored that so far in the second one. And anyway, so he physically distances himself and emotionally distance himself from attachments while connecting everyone to this chiral network. See, thank you for this bridge, someone. Yes, so he's the embodiment of the modern individual, hyper-capable, yet emotionally sealed off. You know, we live in these big cities in our modern day world where we're constantly connected to everyone. You can see this is part of the new game, Chiral Quakes. Constantly connected to everyone, yet you know, you don't make eye contact with anyone. And you can go, especially if you live alone or something, you can go weeks without talking to a real human being. Like, especially if you do remote work from home. Yet, you're always connected online through these social networks. And liking and approving is such an incredible game when you think about it. How it lays that to bear. And, yeah, I mean, Sam discovers that meaning arises not from freedom alone, but from interdependence. Having these networks and being connected is a kind of freedom. You can have freedom by being completely separate. Like here, we're going to build a road. You can have freedom by connecting people, and that's a different type of freedom. There's also obviously, so we're gonna add some materials, and then this is enough materials to build this. So we'll just do that here. Restore the track. I love these cutscenes. So in Kojima's world, death is not an end, but it's a transformation. Like I said, Sam can't die, can he? You have that repatriation. Okay, so this is part of the new monorail system, which I'm very eager to complete actually, because it should mean transporting those heavy loads and then probably eventually building those roads will be much easier. So yeah, in this game, Sam can't die and the dead linger as BTs, these ghostly dangerous entities stuck between worlds. And it's very haunting at times. And oh, look, see, and then they play this beautiful music. Now we can see the sun's gonna come up soon. We're getting quite close to our goal. And yeah, we're almost there, I think. I don't think there should be many more obstacles in the way. And the idea that what is absent can still be a structure in the real world and present, even though it's not there. And I think that that's a skill not many people have. And then when you represent it through like BTs or through the beach, in this case as well, that brings the people who don't normally think about those things into that world. And maybe a lot of people might not understand that, but maybe it enters into their subconscious and they can think about that. Because I think BTs are just more than ghosts. They're connected to the beach and they're present in our world. So again, you've got those strands. I think I'll have to this time because there's the music. And, perhaps it's copyrighted or something, I don't know. Okay, there seems to be another structure up ahead, which I don't think is the structure we're headed to. Look at the sky is beautiful in this game. You can see like star clusters, auroras, the giant moon comes very close. And this whole way, like, we're getting recharged by the lovely people who have left these charging stations here for us. And this has made our lives a whole lot easier. And then hopefully, where I contributed to the monorail, someone else will be able to use that. And the same. Okay, yeah, I think there's some bad guys up ahead on our right. You get like a little notification that we don't really want to go that way. If we go further that way, we might get attacked. And yeah, we're in their territory, which we don't want to be, because I don't want any conflict. Almost to our destination. The sun will be coming up soon, and we want to get there on time, safely. What was I saying? So yeah, Kojima turns death into a train that must be traversed and understood and respected. The dead are not to be erased. They're integrated into the living world. And that's something that kind of mirrors the Japanese spiritual traditions, as well as Western metaphors and, everything. But if you've been to Japan, or you've seen those kind of things, like the personification of objects, maybe because they're embodied with spirits or something. Like I would say this is a very Japanese game, even though obviously a lot of the characters are Western. There's a different kind of philosophy compared to something like The Last of Us or something like that. Anyway, the chiral network, I feel, is kind of a metaphor for both the salvation of humanity, because you're connecting the people, but it's also a surveillance system. And in the second game, they ask kind of, why did we connect, and is it right to connect, and who has the power over that connection? Governments or independent bodies. Obviously it mirrors the internet-driven world we live in today, and where we're more connected than ever, we often feel lonelier, but we rely on others more for that feeling of connection. Just trying to see if I can pick this up. I've got quite heavy. I want to build some of the roads as we go. And yeah, Kojima is critiquing the paradox between those things. Even when cities are reconnected, people often often stay indoors, and they're afraid to re-engage in the real world, even though we're obviously physically very well connected in terms of infrastructure. And then, so we have that postmodern dilemma of can technology bring us closer, or does it risk further alienating each other? And this game asks those questions, the second game more so. And obviously there's been, several years between the first game and the second game. Okay, we're going over these trains. I mean, I didn't even generate this vehicle. This was already there. And so, yeah, thanks to whoever left it. And that's one of those great things about this game, as I said before. So that person receives a like from me using it, receives a couple of likes that I added on. Okay, we can really see that it's getting there. I'm not sure if we're gonna make it. Earthquake, Gyroquake. Are we gonna make it before the official sunrise and the sun comes up? We'll see. We're almost there. Oh man, it's close. It's so close. Is it gonna say now? I think it's gonna. We're here. Shall we wait? It was really beautiful on the way here. The sun has risen. Okay, that's it, guys. We got here. We got the cargo here. No conflict. And we got here before the sunrise. Join me again. Thank you. I hope you had a great time. I hope it was interesting.